Has it?
Yeah, 2 months into turning 30, I was in the ER for my back.
Oh
So it's
no.
it's
The
definitely
back
real.
problems have started.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At least I know what to look forward to.
Yeah. When do you turn 30, Damien? I thought I was a
In
couple years older than you.
like 3 years.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna.
Dylan, your shipping
God.
information is on the screen again.
No, it's not.
Small talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Talk, the show where we talk about absolutely nothing important at all. I'm your host, Dylan. As always, joined by my co-hosts, Sean and Brenton. How's it going, guys?
It's going good, man. How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. So we have, just a kind of quick update, everyone. We have a kind of special show here. We meant to do this earlier in the year, but news and absences have happened to make it not. We wanted to do the mid-year kind of review of some of the best figures that have came out in 2022. Like I said, typically we like to do that a little bit earlier in the year. It's hard to do it exactly in July with Comic-Con, so usually we want to do it right afterwards, but Sean was kind of gone last week, and it was kind of a special show having Damien back. And then this week I will be gone as you guys are hearing this, I will be driving. This is a pre-record. We're just recording a day before, but I will be traveling for a bachelor party, so I'll be gone. So we just had to. I gave Sean kind of the choice. Sean and Brenton and Eddie, I guess, the choices on what they wanted to do. Eddie's kind of taking a mini hiatus, I think, the way it sounds. He's just taking a break. He won't be joining us tonight. But this will be live at our normal time. You will be watching this at our normal time for Small Talk. We just won't actually be live, so sorry. That's why we won't be engaging with the chat. That's one of my favorite things to do with the show. So sorry, chat. But I'm excited. This will be a shorter show too, so it won't be too much of an investment, hopefully, of your time with talking about this. I know a lot of this is opinion based and exposure based. Just things that you have been exposed to based off of probably your interests. So we're just going to kind of talk about some of the figures in some of the segments that we cover within Collecting Weekly as a whole, but us specifically in Small Talk. So like best 1/12 scale figure, best figure under $35. We have some say with best overall company, not say I should say, but we have some best overall company candidates. I think a most improved candidate, non-traditional, and figure of the year. I guess that can really be anything here we talk about. But so yeah, that's kind of what we'll be diving into. Some things that have caught our attention for the year of 2022 up to this point. There are certain ones that have been released that I do not have in hand. A lot of people don't have in hand yet, like the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Superman. I literally just got it like an hour ago in the mail through DHL.
Nice.
So I know a lot of people don't have it. That very well could be on my list for the end of the year, but I just mostly wanted this to be somewhat of a kind of showcase or shout out show for some of these figures so they don't get left out come Christmas time, as we know we get plethora of figures at those times, and a lot of these get forgotten about. So I always like to avoid that, stay away from recency bias as much as possible. And so we'll go through some things, but first, let's kind of dive into what we've gotten since the last show. Sean, if you want to start us off.
Yeah. So the first thing I got was the black and white version of the Mummy. So I previously showed the colored version of it. I was holding on to that just in case I couldn't get this one, and I got lucky enough to pick him up. So I got this, and I like him a lot better. My whole Universal Monsters collection is the gray, the black and white version. There's his little treasure case. The scroll is still the same scroll, though. It's still going to be the colored scroll, like that. So I'm looking forward to the sarcophagus set that's coming out with him. Definitely be picking that up along with all the accessory packs. The next thing I got is the Marvel Legends Iron Spider. I've had a lot of fun with this over the last week and a half or so. And he's actually going to make he's making my top 10 this year. At least right now. I got a couple figures I'm waiting on.
Can you do the pose?
I saw someone who did do the pose, but it took a couple of bases and some really good. I don't know. I don't even know how he did it, but you got to have the new cap. Sorry, everything just fell on me. You got to have the new Toy Biz cap for that to have his shield. It looks a lot better. And then some of his web effects as well. So this does not come with any web effects. Just comes with 2 extra hands, and that is it. But the next thing I got, which is it's in the running for figure of the year for me and of my collection of this year, is the Buzz Lightyear, the SH Figure Arts Buzz Lightyear. And I bought this from, sorry guys, there's the little blaster from Mike from the Patreon. So.
Nice. Shout out, Mike.
Yeah, so I appreciate him for giving me the opportunity to pick this up from him. But he comes with his dome head, or his dome for his suit. He has the purple little cover on this, and my family and I had just watched the movie just like a week ago, and I was like, damn, it's making me want that figure even more. And it really is. It's such a cool figure. It articulates well, it poses well. He has the jetpack that comes with him. He has, and then the sword piece right here has the little holder on the back that you
Does
can
he come
attach.
with his wings?
It does come with the wings. So
Okay.
there's 2 sets of wings. When you have the backpack on, you could have the closed wings, and you just kind of pull them out and they pop out. And then there's separate wings that have, I actually have the box right here. I'll grab it for you real quick. But the wings just kind of peg in. So there's you can see the jetpack right there. But I really love this figure. It's definitely in the running for figure of the year, for at least for me. There's one of the wings right there. And then the red one right there. And then here's the jetpack.
I thought they'd be bigger.
There's a lot of things that you see like in Toy Story. You can see the red on that side and then the green on that side, how they pop in. You just pull them out. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in like Toy Story how he uses the wings and the buttons that you press for it and things like that. And then when you watch the Buzz Lightyear movie, it's different stuff, right? It's not exactly. There's the extra head sculpt right there.
Oh, nice.
And then here's his dome. And it sits on there very well. And he has 6 extra pair of hands. He's got pointing hands, fisted hands, and then just kind of like gripping hands for like the sword and stuff and the gun. Oh, I did not. Wow, I did not see this underneath it. That right there is the flight base, so you can do his like infinity and beyond kind of pose on there. So that's what's in there, and it fits on a Tamashii Nations base.
Nice.
Oh, one more thing. I don't want to pull it off, but you kind of see it there. I finally got my Battle Damage in-game Iron Man Hot Toys right here.
Nice.
So I got him down kneeling with the gauntlet, and we've seen this before, but the Thanos right there. So he's looking at the gauntlet all in shock and stuff. So it finally finishes my Hot Toys in-game display that I've been trying to complete since pre-pandemic. And just one other side note of kind of cool stuff that's been going on with me is I sold 98% of my comics. So excited about that. You know, I still have all these guys on the wall over here. So have all those. But I got rid of about 2,000 comics. So
Wow.
that's kind of what's been going on with me.
Sweet.
It's a lot of comics to get rid of.
It is a lot of comics.
So, did you advertise them for the kind of the bundle deal, or how did that work?
So I showed off these cards on the last show when Damien was there. You know, the Sean,
Yep.
Sean Elliott cards, right? So I got those at Celebrity Fan Fest here in San Antonio. And also at Celebrity Fan Fest was a comic guy who hits up most of the Texas Comic Cons and shows and stuff like that. And a buddy of mine from the comic book shop back in the day, Heroes and Fantasies, he was there talking with him. He goes, well, if you're looking at selling, this guy's the guy, you know? And I got with him about a week after the show, like, hey, you want to come see my stuff? I'm not 100% ready to bite, but I'd be interested in seeing what you have to say. He came and checked him out. A few weeks passed by, and I was like, you know what? I need to message him. And he was like, well, this is my number, this and that, blah, 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 blah. And we ended up making a deal. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm happy about it. I'm not disappointed at all, especially since I got to keep basically all of my keys and all of my my CGC stuff, and so yeah,
There's no regrets.
no regrets at all.
You don't, huh?
Not at all. I miss a couple of the books. Me and Brenton got to talking about some Iron Man stuff. Like 4 days ago over the weekend or so.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn it, Brenton! Like he's asking about all these vintage books. I was like, I had every single one of these. So, but it's good. It's good. It's the next phase of my collecting.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of which, of Brenton, you said you got something, Brenton?
Yeah, I found two things over the weekend, and well, one yesterday. So, I got the Defender Strange pop. So
Oh,
I was happy to find him at Walmart,
nice.
get him for retail, and then
Yeah.
yesterday I found this guy.
Ooh,
So
those
I
are
thought-
cool. I have the Moon Knight one, and I want the Venom one.
Yeah, I didn't realize this comes in like a plastic case that's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it
they're-
was just like a box. Like
Yeah, they're
a
really
flimsy
cool.
Box. So
They come like the what is it, the band versions, you know, like the musical bands and stuff, and then also the athletes. But I have a
Yeah.
question for you, Brenton. So
Sure.
like I've seen this guy around already. So is this something you don't typically get at like your stores, or what's going on?
I haven't seen him at any Targets. I actually went to a local toy store and found him. So I probably had to pay up just a hair because they tend to mark things up, but this was the only one they had, and this is the first time I'd seen him in person.
How much was it? Those usually go for 20, I think.
I let me see. I think it was $30. Yeah, it was 30.
Okay. Yeah, that's not god awful markup, but
Yeah, he had a Dead Strange there, like the Hot Topic exclusive that glows in the dark, and he wanted
Sure.
like 35 just for that one. And I was like, no, I can't do that. So I was like, I'll be happy with this one. This is one I haven't seen. The rest I can find on Amazon for relatively cheap.
right.
So yeah, no, these are really cool. I'm really impressed with it. So I'm happy. Great cover. That's Steve Ditko art.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really really thrilled that they've been doing that. So that
I-
was the two things that I've got recently.
I
other than,
wonder.
like,
I wonder since they're making those elongated boxes now, if they're going to start making cases for those. I haven't seen any cases come out for those yet.
For which one, Sean?
Like for the comic ones, the comic versions, the band versions, the there's a couple other different box sizes that they have been producing lately that don't have like hard cases and plastic cases for them.
I don't know. Are those ones, Dylan? Do you think you would put in a hard case because it's technically in a case? I guess if you take.
I don't know. Oh, and I should. I said I have the Moon Knight one. I have it in my pile of loot. Sorry.
Oh,
so I
okay.
don't have it in person. I've seen them in Target, and I've just never messed around with one. So I'm probably not the best person to answer that.
Gotcha. Yeah,
You're right,
because
though.
it
It
already
does have
has
a
a
hard
hard case,
Yeah, it might not need it.
but it's within the packaging. So I guess it's how important is the outside packaging?
Yeah, to save the edges and stuff. I've heard if Eddie was here, he'd say, "Yeah, you want to protect the shit out of it because pop sellers are psychos." Or
They
pop
really
buyers,
are.
I mean.
They really
Yeah, I don't plan on selling, so I'm just picking up a couple from the Multiverse of Madness. So that's pretty much
Sure.
my goal.
Okay. Well, I had a good couple of weeks actually. So, start off with this. I just thought this guy looked really cool, and I remember covering him. But
think you
got him
still
because
have
it's
me.
unclear. Huh?
Focused.
Oh yeah, I got to put it on me, don't I?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, so this is the Spawn Raven figure. Got him on clearance, you can see, for $7. So, not a terrible deal. I'm gonna take him out here soon. But he does a really good job with these type of like kind of death-like figures. God, that glare is terrible. But these are a lot of fun. I think I'm excited for this guy. I'm going to. Yeah, I don't know like what display or like what line I want to fit him in with, but it can pretty much be anywhere, for the most part.
What's the story behind that guy? Like, what's special about him?
Respawn? I have no idea. It doesn't say anywhere on the box. Just says.
And I kind of miss the old days when they like gave you a blurb about this
Yeah.
character.
I like that as well. There's not many. Really, Black Series are some of the only ones that do that anymore. Does Legends, Sean?
They do, but this Iron Spider was the first one with like the new box type that I have, and I noticed it did not have a description.
Interesting.
So-
That's disappointing because Marvel Legends has gotten really sad with those descriptions because it was like a real plain blurb that wasn't helpful, and then the
A
same
man
thing
in a
over in like
spider
10
suit.
languages.
Yeah. Okay. So this one I just recently got yesterday, the day before. I haven't taken it out. It's the Marvel Select Venom.
Oh, you'll like that
Oh.
one.
Yeah, this is kind of a cool fig. I was looking at him in person, and he is big. It's a bigger figure for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited for him. I think some of the heads look like they're a lot of fun. It comes with 3 different ones plus like mini ones in the back. On that one, I don't know if that's an all-in-one piece. I think it is.
No, it
it's like a
snaps on the
shoulder-
back.
it-
Well,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
shoulder piece on the back. Do you?
yeah, I
do you-
just sold mine recently.
Oh, okay.
But that transformation head sculpt, I really like that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's actually what like drew me to it. And then I got a couple Beasts of the Mesozoic stuff. I got the it's a 2-pack, the Microraptor and Maninakus. I'm destroying that. Mananikus. Which they're just both little raptors. I mainly got them. there is too bad. This top one you can't really see over here, but it looks like a pheasant, and like I come from pheasant country, so I thought that one was really cool. They're supposed to be more in line or more to scale with their Ceratopsian line, I think. So that's another reason why I got them. Their other ones are quite a bit out of scale. They're bigger because they're 6 scale. So, and then I got this hog, Pentaceratops, and I think this is my favorite one from the line so far.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
How do
this
these guys scale with the like the Hammond collection stuff?
They're supposed to be in scale with Hammond, but
Okay.
they're more accurate. They're going to be more accurate. Oops, sorry. Because
Playing with your stick again. Can't take
I
you
know
anywhere.
it's like kind of going limp on me here.
You
But
didn't give your mic Viagra today.
yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on with it, but anyways, yeah. So they're gonna be a little bit more accurate to the 3 3/4 inch scale than probably Hammond collection overall, but they're supposed to be in kind of in that same idea of it. I know Hammond is kind of weird. They say it's all the same scale, but it's really not, because that Triceratops is not of scale to the T-Rex or the people. It's too
That
small.
one, that one you just showed looked like it was venomized. Maybe that's why you like it.
It might be. I do like the design on it. No, I really like the frill on this guy. That's probably my favorite part, is how like high it is, how high it goes up. And then on his Tyrannosaur series, he's got one of the artwork. So he has like a artist come in and does this artwork here. I wish I would have kept all of these. I only have, I have all of them except for one. But they're pretty cool artwork. And on there's one of the dinos from his Tyrannosaur series that's up for pre-order right now is the painting of him fighting one of these. So that'd be
that's
cool to
cool.
recreate. And then I just picked this one up, Miggs Mayfield TVC. I'm not trying to go outside of Troopers, but you can put the, what is that, Tank Commander armor on his head.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'll do with it anyways. And then, like I said, I just got this guy in the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman, Dark Knight Returns, Mafex, Superman. So
His hands look huge.
they look enormous. That's immediately what I looked at when I saw this. But that they are in weird proportions in that comic. So I don't necessarily want to write it off as an issue with the figure yet if it's accurate to the comic, because they're funky looking in those comics.
Oh, they
And
definitely are. It just, that was the first thing that stuck out to me.
Oh, 100% to me too. So, and this is actually, it's not small, but it has been a grail of mine for a long time, and I haven't been able to pull the trigger until recently. But I got the 3-0
Nice.
T60 power armor from the Fallout games.
Very cool.
It's the camouflage armor, but you can purchase other armor sets. So I'm probably gonna start doing that. A lot of them you can find for sale too. That's kind of why I want to get it, because there's a couple of them that I want to get on sale, or get at good prices, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that with them. I'm excited for that one. I've wanted one of those for, I don't know, at least like 5 years, at least. Because Fallout 3 was one of my all-time favorite games I've ever played. So
Is that armor diecast?
there are die-cast components. I think it's not the outside armor. I think there's the frame is. So there's a frame, and you put the armor pieces on the frame, and that's how
Okay.
there's like interchangeable armor pieces, because you just have the frame already. And then you can just snap those pieces on, so you can kind of mix and match and stuff like that too. but that frame I believe is die cast, if I remember right. So
That's a pretty cool idea.
yeah, I think these are from what I've heard, these are amazing figures, but insanely ungodly expensive. And I had pretty much majority of my sideshow rewards points were expiring. So I was like, man, that's expensive, but I'll just use all of my points I could. I think I had a gift card left over, or no, it was another promo code. Use a promo code, all my sideshow points on them. So yeah, that's the only reason I ended up pulling the trigger when I did, and I wanted, like I said, to make sure to get some of the other armors I could. So yeah, so that's all I got. It was a pretty good week. Got a few comics here and there. I got to catch up on Axe. Are you caught up on that, Sean?
Did not even read it, man.
Oh
I haven't
shit!
read it yet.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on it.
I
My Superman,
I got the alert on it a couple weeks ago though that it had dropped.
Yeah.
So
my Superman, by the way, Brenton, it came Amazon Japan, and it came super quick.
Now is the back all in a different language? Oh, there's no
No.
text on it, really?
Not really.
Interesting.
And it's got this shiny thing there too. I know they're using that now to help with
Authenticity.
knockoff. There's like an app you download and then you scan that thing, but I haven't gotten it to work. So maybe all of mine are just knockoffs. I don't think so, but it's supposed to be one of those things that they're trying to do to kick knockoffs so you can tell easier.
Okay, I'll have to check it and see if that Venom has one.
Yeah. It came with like a pamphlet explaining it as well for me on my Venom anyways. So yeah, so that's all I got.
real quick, Dylan, before we move on, there's two things that I had just purchased that'll be coming in soon that I'm really excited about. I've been getting into the Mattel Pixar stuff. So I have Russell coming from Up, the kid with the Boy Scouts, like all the badges and stuff. So he's coming in,
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
and I'm waiting for
Very cool.
Kevin, the bird, to come back in stock. But the other thing I just got it from Big Ol' Fern, is Annihilation Conquest number 6, 9.4 CGC. That's the first appearance of the current Guardians of the Galaxy. So like Star-Lord and Gamora and Groot and all them. So it really excited about those. That's a Grail book for me that I've wanted for a long time.
Okay. Does it have it anywhere, Brenton?
Yeah, I found. That's it, right?
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like that's what freaked me out.
I still think that might be a knockoff. Let me see. Let me grab my Venom box quick.
Cause I'm like, that's kind of weird.
That it has the words on it.
Yeah, that it's just all.
Yeah,
Cause
you're
I
right.
don't think.
Mine have that too. Mine has that same thing.
Oh, okay.
So
You
Yeah, it
lucked
says
out, man.
Medicom Toy Official at the bottom on that sticker. So
yeah, yours might be legit then.
yeah, I guess.
Well, cool. Okay.
I guess it's
so
just a
we-
QC thing.
Yeah. Which I would email them about right away because they may be able to help you out or give you a hefty discount on it. I would be willing to bet.
I'm
that
sorry I
sending
missed
back to
it,
them
Brenton.
would-
What's wrong with it?
Like just whenever you articulate, the
Uh-huh.
torso like pops right off. It's kind of crazy.
I'd be willing to bet it doesn't make sense for Amazon to have you ship it back to them, so they'd be willing to probably just let you have it. I bet for either highly discounted or maybe even free.
Okay.
If you bitch about it. Okay, so let's move on here to some things, some call-out figures we want for best 1/12 scale. There's a few I've thought about since we put the list together, and I'll just kind of speak about them. But the first one on the list that I thought of immediately was one that I was not expecting a ton about. I know not a lot of people were super excited about it, but I had so much fun when I took him out of the box, and that is the Mezco Captain Nemo. So it's kind of their version of Captain Nemo, of course, the Mezco-ified one. But he comes with so much. He comes with a ton of different accessories, ton of cool accessories. He's just overall a really fun and cool figure to mess around with. I really like this guy. Immediately, that's what I thought of, where I was like, this, and like, the pictures don't do their justice with the gold. The gold is fairly metallic when you take it out. It looks like real gold. Like, a lot of what the pieces of him, they do look fairly regal, which if you've ever read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, they should be. So, it is cool. I was super surprised from this figure. You get a lot from it. I couldn't have been happier with it, to be honest. I didn't have many complaints at all. Did you guys ever read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
No.
No, I didn't.
Tragedy. I think it should be one of those that's still like read in schools, to be honest.
You're like
But
the only
it's-
person I know that's into that.
Oh, that Moby
It's
Dick.
probably on
yeah.
a ban list somewhere.
Yeah, I hope not. It's such a good book and important piece of literature for our culture. But yeah, anyways, very, very good. I really liked him.
When this figure came out, or when we talked about it first, I thought it was a really cool figure, especially with all the gadgets that he had. I thought it was something kind of unique from what they were doing, as far as like I'm spacing on the name, the Roach.
Sorry, Gomez. My computer.
Yeah,
froze for a
Gomez.
second.
Sorry, Gomez, and then the skulls and stuff like that. So, I thought he was a really cool take on this character and stuff. So, if I ever find him out in the wild, I'd consider picking him up.
Yeah, I would, and you can still find him around. It's a Mezco Direct exclusive, but you can still find him around. And if you get a deal on him, pull the trigger. You can fit him in with anywhere. It's just because it's
exactly.
Captain Nemo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get the one? Is this the same one with the Ray, or was
Nope,
there
that's a
an
separate
exclusive?
accessory piece because it's fairly
Okay.
large.
Do you have that pre-ordered?
Yep. It's not out yet, but yeah, I'm gonna have that, and there's like different pieces that you can get with that for this guy as well. Different looks you can give him. That cloak is really cool. That on him, I was messing around with that when I got him. And then it's also really hard to see here, but this whalebone knife is really cool. It's really well detailed, but you can't really see it. A lot of these accessories are like that. They're just super intricate for how small they are. When you get them in hand, you're like, holy, this is not what I expected from this figure. So, yeah, very pleasantly surprised by that one. But I'll just kind of move on here. The next one is the Mezco Spider-Man 2099. Not my favorite Spider-Man, just like in general. And it's not my favorite looking one. It's not my favorite one. I don't know almost anything about this one. But the figure is great. I have Eddie's, and around the Mezco community, this is fairly widely praised. Overall, a lot of people really like this. It had the QC issues with the hips, I know, but the ones that haven't had that issue, this one has been. I've seen multiple people exclaim in the Mezco groups this being their figure of the year so far. So, really well done figure there. It's right up Mezco's alley on what they do well. If this is sign for things to come, that classic Spider-Man that they're doing should be amazing as well. So, make sure to jump on that if you want that. But
Yeah, this is just Spider-Man of the future. That's all you need to know.
it's a different. It's not Peter Parker, is it either?
No, it's
No.
2099, so Peter Parker's long dead at this
Oh,
point.
I didn't. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know that like it was in the same time frame of that. You know, like Gaslight, Gotham by Gaslight, where it's
Mhm.
like Bruce Wayne and Batman still exist. It's just in olden times. I thought this was like that same concept.
Yeah,
Just-
it's not in
Well-
Elseworlds.
okay,
Right.
cool. So, what's your guys' thoughts on this? I know you guys don't have them or anything, but
I've seen the Hot Toys version. I thought it looked really cool. Have you seen? Have you had a chance like to compare between the two, or like just
no, I don't. I don't
from
have
pictures?
the Hot Toys one, and I have not seen it in person.
Mhm.
So not me. I know what a lot of people like is the comic book accuracy to it. They changed some things too to make it a little bit more accurate. I know one of the things though that some people don't like is the shape of the Spidey on the front, the
Yeah.
size of it. I think what was it, too big or something like that?
Mhm.
And then, but I know like isn't the what do you call the things on the side there? This like the forearm spikes that are coming out. I'm blanking on the names of them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Aren't those like undersized on the Hot Toys one?
You know what? I think they are. I think they are. I remember seeing the Hot Toys version at the shop a while back. Actually surprised that we got it just because it was an exclusive and stuff. But I mean, I think if you wanted this guy and he's a 1/12 scale, you know, I mean, it's a great addition, especially like you said with like the classic coming in. I feel like with where what was it? The Miles, the Into the Multiverse is going. People might be more into the newer version of the suit more than this. Like this is a definitely for a comic fan or someone who just collects Spider-Mans in general. But I feel like when the Into the Multiverse 2 comes out, this is going to not be as popular as the white, red, and blue suit that the guy has.
yeah.
Sure.
I would just think about him as like Batman Beyond version
Yep.
of like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think
But-
it's really cool though how they fully decorated the case, or not the case, the base.
Oh yeah.
Though that's a cool touch.
Instead of just a spider symbol or something.
Right.
The
Yeah.
only thing I don't like about these suits is like I don't know if it's like a rubber that they put on the chest piece. That I know that some of them, if you articulate it enough or keep it in a dynamic pose, that potentially starts to peel.
With the new ones, I haven't had that happen. Their old stuff had that issue, and that's my biggest hope with the '89 Batman is they're trying to avoid that. Rest in peace. But I think with their new stuff, they've really gotten a lot better with that. I don't think their new stuff. I wouldn't worry about that as much. You can pose it fairly dynamically as well without worrying about that. So, yeah, I think you're fine on this one, anyways. That's a valid concern for sure.
Yeah, because I think I got the movie Black Panther, and I was always kind of careful because he has like these glued on like hip pieces as part of his costume, and I was always concerned about those. Kind of if he's too articulated, those will start peeling off.
Yeah, I mean, there's some Batman figures like that as well, but I haven't had any issues with that so far, anyways. So, but yeah, I would say the biggest knock on this thing it would be like the emblem size and then the hip QC issues that it had. So, All right. So kind of moving on here to one that definitely needs to be called out. I think so this is the 3-0 DLX Infinity Saga Hulkbuster figure. I think the Mark 43 was I'm almost 99% sure it was technically released last year. And people had it in hand and everything last year. This one I don't think got in hand until this year. Chat, comment on the video if you chat or if you're watching this afterwards. Comment on the video if you think that this is a 2021 figure, but I wanted to make sure. For me, it was worth the risk to not leave it off, just because this is such an impressive figure. To be honest, I think this one's like a front runner overall. It's just such an impressive, well done figure overall.
I think if you had any doubt about getting into the 3-0 line, this should have squashed it. You know, these are going to be great figures. They look great. They fit well within collections and stuff. They might be slightly bigger than I guess a typical 12th scale, but I mean, this thing was beautiful, and just like everything that Sean and Eddie were doing during the showcase on this, it was an amazing video, amazing figure.
Yeah, check out that showcase. But yeah, that was a really fun one to watch them kind of break it down. Brent, what do you think?
Yeah, it looks like a really great figure with tons of articulation, especially compared to the Hot Toys version. I know it came really impressive during that unboxing that UC did. And I think he got one of the first ones, or he got it fairly early, so I think this was definitely a release for this year.
Useby.
Who'd you say got it really early?
Useby.
Oh, yeah, he did. Definitely did. And yeah, I think it was too. But yeah, and then just the ability, like how you can put the Mark 43 in it, and have the pose of him crawling out like what Eddie had. The dynamic poses you can just put this guy in general. He's got to be up there. Got to be. They were still finding things out about this figure when they were opening it, like finding out which things lit up and which didn't, what things didn't, and yeah, they were having fun. And I feel like Useby, obviously, he's been collecting a while, and Eddie's fairly critical, as we all know. That'll be my nicest way of putting it. But he is fairly critical, and Eddie, he had his critiques on it, but you could tell this was an impressive figure to him. He enjoyed it. So that one I wanted on there. And then Brenton, this was your sole addition to the list here. If you want to break this one down.
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic figure. With the engineering with those arms is...
So this is which one is this again?
This is the Infinity War Battle on Titan Doctor Strange from Mafex. And, I think they nailed this figure. It took forever to finally come out. But now that it's here, it's well worth the wait. I can't say enough good things about the amount of accessories that are included in this. The way the cape's done, I think I've discussed it before with some of the other Doctor Stranges, where that new SH Figuarts Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange, how the cape drapes across his chest like that. Mafex, they nailed the way that cloak should drape on his chest, and it's still wired that you can have tons of flexibility with it. And then, like I was saying, the engineering, how they did those arms was extremely creative. And I'm really impressed with it. It looks so fantastic. I mean, they did something that Hot Toys couldn't even figure out how to do. They gave you a cardboard background instead of all these different arms.
Yeah, that's a cool addition. And is it 3 heads or just 2?
I think it's only 2.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, and
yeah,
oh, go ahead.
I don't remember him having. I think it's only SH Figure Arts with the one that has his eyes closed when he's like using the time stone to see all the probabilities.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, and so how does the cloak stay on him? Just by the wire?
Yeah, it's just all wired.
Wow.
Like it's very easy to remove and great for posability. But then it also looks great with just standing. So these cloaks are so hard to get right. And it's I think Batman suffers the same issue, right? Where it's hard to get it to drape nice, but then also have a wire in it to do a dynamic pose.
Yeah. Yeah, like and you can this middle picture showing off the drape compared to the even just the one on the both side either one of the ones on both sides of him, one where it's kind of flowing out a little bit and the other one where it's spread out because he's got his hands out. Those look really good. It doesn't look like the same cape even.
Yeah, and just the details of how they nailed the accuracy of it, where they have different material inside with the design, and then the outside of it has the particular design of his cloak. You know, his cloak's so intricate. It's not just a regular cape, too. So the importance of accuracy on that is definitely key.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I think you were sending pictures, Brenton, on. Uh, you were sending pictures of the cloak compared to like the SA Figure Arts one, and yeah, this one just blew it out of the water for how it looked.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I don't know why they can't figure it out. Because the only way they can get
How
it
many have
to
they done now?
3, I think. And I think this was their first attempt where they didn't do a 2-piece cloak. So they normally do like a hard plastic to get the drape, like how it connects across his chest, and then it connects to a mixed media cloak, like halfway down the back or so. That's wired. And then for Multiverse of Madness, it's the first fully mixed media cloak that they've done, and it looks like a Marvel Legends with like the two areas on the front on his chest that should be against his chest are just so spread out. It just looks terrible.
There's a local guy I talked to here in San Antonio, and he said that he had to glue it down. He super glued it down, so that's the only way he could fix it.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that because what if you want to
No.
take it off? You know that it comes
Exactly.
with a separate stand to just display
To
the
have
cloak.
it, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And it's gonna be and it's $130 to $150 figure.
hmm
So
I'm like, I still need
or I guess
a
never mind. The SH Figure Arts one is
Yeah.
cheaper, right?
right.
That's like 90.
Yeah.
I think 85 to
Yeah.
90, but
Okay.
I still need a battle the in-game, like an in-game version of Doctor Strange, and I'm leaning more towards still the SH Figure Arts, only because after seeing this one, you want it to be dynamic with it, and you want to do all kinds of fun stuff with it. For me, I just want a better version of Doctor Strange than the Marvel Legends, but I'm only going to have him sitting here on the in-game display right here, so I don't need him to be like super crazy. Like I need him to be accurate, but not. I'm not going to pose him too crazy.
yeah, but I think this would be the one to go with because you can get a great look of like even him like flying in like at the final
That's
scene
true.
to fight Thanos, and you know the way
Is
you'll
that
be able
everybody? You wanted
I-
more?
I think the one issue you might run into is majority of your collection Sean, is SH Figure Arts, correct?
Mhm.
So you
Right.
might struggle a bit there, but I don't know. I would agree with Brenton that from what I've seen in pictures and heard people talk about, they really like prefer this one overall. They like this one a
Definitely.
lot, so.
I would agree. Like, if you're gonna buy a Doctor Strange and it was the Doctor Strange, you need to buy the Mafex.
Yeah. So, all right. So moving on here, we won't spend a ton of time on this one since Sean kind of broke this figure down quite a bit.
Yeah.
But Sean, if you want to just kind of introduce this figure.
Yeah, got to watching Lightyear kind of late, and good old Mike Cruz came through with the figure and stuff, and it's just a great figure. It's really cool. It looks like it's like a suited figure, an armored suited figure that is just fun to play with. Even sometimes with the Iron Man stuff, it can only do so much, and he has enough effect pieces and different ways to pose them and things like that just make him look really cool. The one gripe I do have is, like, if you bend him too far over, you got a lot of gappage right in here. But I think overall it's a great figure. It poses really well. You could do so much stuff with them. I think it's very non-traditional, I guess. I don't know, just with some of the stuff we see from SH Figuarts, where they're more so Marvel or DC or some of these other kind of characters. To see them come out and do something like this, it's a really nice fresh take, and I just think it's great. I think it's a great figure.
Cool. Yeah, this one, it looks really well done. I know the movie's got mixed reviews, but yeah, it looks like they did the figure justice, and they released it really quick. Like, this went
It
up
dropped
for pre-order
really quick.
Yeah, this went up for pre-order, and then and then released in a quick manner. So yeah, it'll be cool to hear more about that. This one, I was on the fence how I wanted to include it. I don't really know, since it's a set. I know we kind of avoid box sets, but I just had to bring light to this, how cool this set is overall. This one was the Mezco Pink Skull Chaos Club. It's the Gig from Hell box set. So there's the 3 of them. They come with a ton of different heads. They're rock band attire, accessories. They come with, like, weapons, different outfits you can dress them in. Absolutely loaded. So much fun for a set. It's kind of cheating. I feel like 3 shouldn't win, figure of the year per se. But I essentially had to throw these guys out there. It was a lot of fun set to mess around with. So I won't spend too much time on this one, but I just kind of wanted to throw it out there for how much fun I had. This one was one we wanted to include for sure, the NECA Bronx. This one's made a lot of waves in the community, I would say. Sean, you own this one, correct?
Yes, I actually got it right here. It is going to make my top 10 for the year, I'm sure. It got me back into the Gargoyles run. I think Goliath is amazing, but I'm exaggerating when I say this, but I've had to buy 2 of every Gargoyle minus this one to really find the one that worked for me, because the first Goliath I bought was kind of messed up. Like, it wouldn't stand for me. The one I have now works. And even for Demona, I did not have to buy a second one, but I had to find a fix to make her, because I didn't want to buy another $30, $40 figure, to make her work. But this is the one that kind of kept me in the line. They just announced Brooklyn. Brooklyn's fixing to drop here soon. Or not drop, but it's going to go up for pre-order and stuff like that. But it's just a really solid figure overall. It has an extra head sculpt on there. The jaw articulates on the other one. It comes with a piece of meat and I think one other thing. Well, and it comes with the closed wings for Goliath, and I think that's also what did it for me too. Is, like, I know you want the wings to be, like, really big and out and stuff, but you're gonna need, like, an action base, I feel like, to really pose him in a way that you really want to. At least for me, mine wasn't doing very well. I had to put some nail polish up in the wing area for Demona to kind of keep the wings up, and it really didn't work all that well. But this figure right here is just going to keep me in the line picking up the stuff. So
Yeah, I think too the accessories that it comes with the
Yeah.
folded wings for Goliath, that is something everyone asks for. That can't be stated enough. And
well,
they
and the
didn't
wings
do
are
this
soft
one
too,
as
so
well.
that's what's cool about it too. You don't get
Yeah.
these really hard like covered wings, almost like a Death Sight Gundam, where his wings just kind of drape over him like this in armor. They're actually soft wings, so that's cool too.
Yeah. So, yeah, really good one there. That one definitely. I don't think this one's under 35, so this one's got to be up. We just put it in the best 112th. I think it needs to be there. Goliath, I think, won it last year, didn't it? Or no, it got close. I don't think it ended up winning it. I can't remember how the awards went last year, but so this one I wanted to include. I have seen this one in person, and I had to fight myself with every ounce of my being to not buy it. So this is the McFarlane Toys Man Bat Mega Fig. So this guy is it's their larger figure, I think like $40-ish range, and this is obviously, I believe, from Batman, but holy shit, this guy looks menacing up close. These pictures don't do justice. This is right up the alley of what he does good. McFarlane, what they do really well are things like this. I have heard issues with the legs, not fully being able to hold it up very well, but it's a very big figure that it's a menacing display on your shelf for sure.
Definitely looks top heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. And a lot of his are, to be honest. But yeah, I just saw this one. I just saw this one in stores, and I was blown away. So I probably will end up owning this at some point.
Yeah, I
but
can't believe you didn't grab it.
I know, I should have. So I know this one's been well received by a lot of people as well. Just kind of the man bat that a lot of people want. So moving on, here is for the next one, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Crocmaster and Fiona set. Again, it's another one where I feel like it's almost kind of cheating because it comes with a crocodile fig and the Crocmaster. So I don't know if it should be included on there or not. $40 though. A lot of people have really liked this Croc, and overall the set. It's been really well received by the G.I. Joe fans, and you all know how hard that is to make them happy. So I wanted to include this one on. A lot of people have had a lot of fun with that one.
I don't know. They seem to be happy as long as they can buy it. If they can't
Yeah,
buy
that's
it, that's
true.
when they seem to get angry.
Yeah, they are very particular, but yeah, you're right. Now that things are becoming easier to attain, they're happier overall. But okay, so this one, moving on, this is a highlight of them as well, in my opinion. I think this is up there in the same. I think this has got to be there, in my opinion, for best 112 stuff, up there with like the Mezco Nemo. I think with 3-0 Hulkbuster, the Mafex Infinity War Doctor Strange. This has got to be up there, probably NECA Bronx. So this one is the Mezco Wolverine Deluxe Steel Deluxe Box set. Absolutely loaded out figure. This is the Wolverine to own, if you ask me right now. I know Sean or Usby, he's a pretty big fan. I know he's got this. He's pretty excited about it. It's, it comes with all the different types of claws that you'd want. The swinging effects comes with 8 head portraits, and then a removable mask. And then the sentry that lights up. So he's pretty much anything you'd want Wolverine to be. This guy can do it. So very well done figure. Everyone has stated how well done this one is. This will be on a lot of people's top lists, I think, overall. You guys got any thoughts here before we move on?
I think you're right on par with like the top four that you just listed. I think he definitely deserves to be with Nemo, Hulkbuster, Doctor Strange, and then him. I think any one of those four could win best 1/12. This he's just loaded, and you know you have the effects that you want with him. You know, I know with like the Legends version when they've redone him, they finally put like some kind of like heating effect on his blades and stuff. But I would argue just save up a little bit more and get this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can really do whatever you want with them. So
You can go
Yeah.
classic, you can go modern, you could even go animated to a point, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, I
I
can't
know-
argue with that. Like, if for a Wolverine fan, this is everything you could want.
Mm-hmm. The base
know-
is super simple with just the X on it. That looks really cool. You know, we were talking about the 2099 and how it was all decoed and stuff. And I mean, what more do you need for Wolverine on the
Yeah.
base?
yeah. If you're not going to use the Sentinel one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it offsets it good. So, yeah, this is a well done one. Of course, Mezco's only got a few regular releases on the year that aren't MDXs, Mezco Direct exclusives. This was a regular release, and of course, this is up for Figure of the Year. So, fucking A, Mezco. Let's get them. Let's get it going here. Let's get some more. And the last one. None of us have any relations to this one, but this has been looking at a lot of people's lists on YouTube or just reviews in general. Am I chopping up a little bit, guys?
A little bit.
Okay, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with my computer.
Your computer doesn't like Storm collectibles.
Apparently. But anyways, so this is the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Kintaro. So super well done figure overall. 3 head sculpts. He comes with a bunch of bloody effects, like the frozen arms to mess up Sub-Zero. Bunch of different hands, a flame ball effect, and then of course the torn in half brain effect that you can hold in 2 hands. So many people, this was on so many lists that I looked up on YouTube, a bunch of groups I've heard them talk about this figure, how just imposing he is overall. And Storm is already big. So yeah, this is a very well done figure, and I wish Storm would have more releases that we would talk about or could talk about a little bit more than, you know, outside of Mortal Kombat. I know Eddie's got that Golden Axe line that he likes a lot, but they're well done figures overall. So we wanted to make sure to include this guy. This guy's definitely got to be in there. Fairly
Kinda-
unbiased pick since none of us have any relation to him or don't
Right.
own him. But what were you gonna say?
Kind
Sean?
of big news with Storm though. You know, we have not had a chance to kind of talk about it, but they are exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store now, aren't they?
Yeah, which their Big Bad Toy Store, I don't know if they're exclusive to there or if Big Bad is their exclusive distributor for
Distributor.
the US. So there could be, I'd have to reread it again, but it could be a scenario like Sideshow to Hot Toys, where
Sure.
they're both a reseller and a distributor at the same time. They're reselling it on their website, and then they distribute it to other resellers in the U.S.
Comic
that wanna
stores
sell
and
yeah,
right.
that want to sell Storm collectibles. So, yeah, that's very big news and good to hear. I know we have a lot of trust in Big Bad Toy Stores, and Storm needs a bit bigger presence over here for sure.
I think overall, not having any attachment really to Mortal Kombat besides, you know, playing the video game when you're young and watching those original movies and stuff. I mean, this guy just looks crazy. You know, put him with almost any figure, and it's gonna look great fighting him. You know, and you know, just with the bloody pieces and stuff like that, I'm sure you can fudge him in anyway.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think what would put Storm Collectibles over the top is they need to get more licenses. Like, really focus
Yeah.
on getting some licenses. I mean, Mortal Kombat's cool, but it feels like such a niche kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. They do a lot of video game um, licenses, but that's not, or IPs. It's not the end of the world. It's just when that's your main seller, that's that you're kind of starting behind if you're depending on the video game industry to be your biggest IP.
Yeah, I'd like to
But
see them tackle like superheroes or something. See what can they do?
yeah. Yeah, and they've been able to do a few here and there with some of the villains, but it was still Mortal Kombat related, like that Bane and Darkseid and stuff from is it Injustice, that video game?
Yeah, I think.
It might be Injustice. Those are really well done ones. So if those are any inclination of what they can do for those, it's absolutely we need to see some big bangers from them there. But yeah. So this guy, don't let that take away from how good this figure is. Really well done one. So we will move on to some of the figures that qualify under the best under $35 frame here. All of these can still be put essentially for the most part in the best 1/12 category as well, but these are ones that are under either priced at $35 or under. And this one, I know this is one of the harder ones, harder than it should be ones every year. But to me, in my opinion, from my experience, from what I've gotten this year, this isn't even close. But Sean, you wanted to add this one. You talked about this one at the beginning. Excuse me. The beginning of the show. You talked about this one. So this is the Marvel Legends Iron Spider comic version.
Right. It's really well articulated. The body, at least, is the actual what are they called? Tentacles or like Waldos, right? Like they only articulate at 2 points. Well, really, I guess it's three. So it's 3 points. It's 3 points at each,
Okay.
and they make some for some really good posing. It's more of an add-on, but the body is just awesome. The gloss on the figure itself is amazing. The paint apps on it, just the things you can do with it makes for a really good a figure in general. Like I said, the eyes, the paint apps, the Spider-Man logo looks awesome. He's got that really good crunch on him too. Get him going down pretty far. I really think he deserves to be in best under 35, if not the winner of it, with some of these others that we're about to review. But really great Spider-Man in general.
I feel like he has the older body though. Like there's some Spider-Man that are coming out now. Is it like the Amazing Fantasy one that has? It's like the upper torso twist along with the ab crunch.
I want to say he has that same So there's that torso twist that you were talking about.
No, it's like the upper part, if
Ball-
you remember
yeah,
seeing
it's
that.
like a ball joint that he's referencing.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I thought he was on that new Photon body.
Because then they did like a Spider-Man body too.
Yeah, well, because wasn't that the Feature Foundation one, right?
That may have it, or the 2-pack with what's her name?
Oh,
The Renew Your Vows one.
Oh, the Renew Your Vows with the
Yeah.
Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So we got that one on the list. And then we wanted to include this one. I know Sean wasn't excited about this one when he got it, but this has been a well-received figure across the board. So this is the Marvel Legends Captain America. This is the retro kind of Toy Biz throwback one. And this has been well-received. I own this one. It looks great. for the price that it is, I think this is a great figure overall. It comes with like the backdrop, the swappable backdrop, his his regular shield. He comes with a head sculpt, and he comes with a couple hands, which is a win for Marvel Legends. So yeah, I really like this one. I think this is a good one to add to the list too.
Who did these poses?
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's what I want to know.
I think we made fun of that initially on the podcast when we covered the solicitation for it.
Well, I mean, they're not bad. It's like, but if you're gonna use like the shields getting hit with something, like put them in a little more action pose.
Yeah, I also probably could have or gotten better picks, but I wanted to like showcase different, the backdrop, the different hands, and then the head sculpt. And yeah, I actually wasn't a lot out there. The one corny thing with me, and I know it's it is what it is. It's what it's supposed to be, but the boot kind of.
Oh, I love the boots.
I like the boots up until like where the mid calf, the things that hang down.
They're like pirate boots.
To me, but yeah, overall I do like the figure.
The swashbuckling, I love it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, here's the body. This one has it too.
Yep. So this one I've heard a lot of people talk about. This is the Marvel Legends Symbiote Spider-Man. This is the retro from the cartoon. He's lighter on accessories for sure. He just comes with a couple hands, I believe. But I know a lot of people have liked this one. So well done fig here for sure. You can get them in a ton of different poses, obviously. So I tried to showcase that a little bit here, but
I think first off, it's a great figure. Definitely, I owned it for a minute. I never took it out of the box. It looks awesome. It just wasn't a Spider-Man for me to keep in the collection. I think the biggest issue with the Iron Spider and then this one is just like, there's not enough web pieces. Like from every picture I've seen with this Spider-Man or even the Iron Spider, they've reused webs from other Spider-Man. I think I would say even going as far as using SH Figuarts or Mafex Spider-Man webs, But overall, as a single figure, it's great. It looks awesome. I know a lot of people are having fun with it.
yeah, and it's kind of a symbiote Spidey that a lot of people have been waiting for as well. And if you don't want to pay for the Mafex one, this is a great second one to get. And I wanted to include these ones. These ones were ones I added on. So this is the Vintage Collection Battlefront 2 ARC Trooper. And there's 3 different versions of them, essentially. It's just paint is the only difference with them. The 3 different versions are the Lambent, Umbra, and then... oh, shit. I'm blanking on the other one. What's the yellow one called again? Anyways,
he was from the game, right?
Yeah,
the yellow one.
All three of these are. But yeah, so these, for whatever reason, these just seem like they have a lot of work put into them. Not all of them felt like that. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is. There's some, like I've mentioned before, where they put a lot of paint into the armor. There's some that they put a lot of paint into the guns and not a lot into the armor then. These ones are well done with both. And they are very, like, heavier figures, it seems like, than most of them, for whatever reason. I don't know what it is or why. But there's just something that feels better about these than some of the other ones. I don't know if it's because they're exclusives, but the paint is just sharper, it's crisper. All of them are just really well done figures overall. So I wanted to shout these ones out. I think these are some of the best that I've seen come out of the Vintage Collection this year. It's just, like I said, been a well done one overall. So yeah, I wanted to make sure to call them out. So yeah, Lambent Trooper is the green one, the Umbra one is the yellow and black one, and then I think the red one was the Big Bad Toy Store one, and I think it's just called, isn't it just called Arc Trooper? An Arc Trooper? I don't think it might not even have a special one, a special name for it. But yeah, great figures overall. If you want some small little troopers, these are great ones to get. So moving on, the McFarlane Toys The Dark Knight Returns Batman. A lot of people have picked this one up. I have seen this in a lot of collectors' hands. It's funny, now we have quite a few companies who have done this guy over the years. It felt like we didn't have a high-end one, and then now Mafex has done a bunch. Obviously, some of the first Mezcos were that done, and well done. But if you want a cheaper fig to represent that comic, this guy is pretty well done. We talked about standing on their own. I don't own this guy, but I'm 90% sure people have said he's fairly stable overall for a McFarlane figure. So really well done overall. You know, $20 can't go wrong there. The whole line, to be honest, from this was really well done, from the Dark Knight Returns. So wanted to include this one. I know a lot of people have gotten this. I think even Manny posted about it in the group. Manny Gonzalez, he said that he liked this one. So, and then this one is my clear winner for best figures, $35 or under. This one, so this is the Mythic Legions, or the Four Horsemen Mythic Legions Sir Gerard. And holy shit, he is loaded, he is well painted, all of that. And I know technically the only stake that you would talk me out of this being either figure of the year or maybe what am I looking for? Maybe like doesn't qualify for either figure of the year or 12 skill figure of the year, or best under 35. I think for sure he should win best under 35 for how good of a deal he is. But the only way is because technically he was I believe he was a comic or some sort of what do they call their Legions Con exclusive in November of 2021, but you could only get him if you went there. And then they released him, and he shipped out this calendar year, because I got mine in February. So I know, like, the regular release happened this year. And, I guess maybe, I can't remember if this guy was $35. No, actually, you know what? This one, he doesn't go under best under 35. He should just go under best 112, because I think he was 37. That's what their kind of deluxe figures are, is $37. But still absolutely loaded for $37. It was crazy. I was super impressed with him. A lot of fun. I know he's a very well liked figure in the Mythic Legions community as well. But I think this, and this is coming from a Mezco fanboy, this would edge out Mezco Wolverine for best 112 figure of the year for me. Just with the paint and what you get along with it. We weren't supposed to get the second head sculpt, but we did, just out of like a shipping error, I think, or something like that. So, yeah, really cool.
I mean, they just do great out of the ordinary stuff,
Yeah.
They make goblins look good, they make knights look good. I mean, Mythic Legions are definitely becoming their own brand,
And they charge accordingly. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there's Legion builders or Army builders, they call them Legion builders. Those are they're gonna be anywhere from $22, I think, to $25 on their website. And then if they put extra paint and work into them, like they did this guy, yes, it's a reuse of a bunch of different parts, but it's also much more intricate painting. then it's going to be more expensive. So I do like that the options they give you with them. So
Yeah, I'm not too big into like the whole knights and things like that, but I'm waiting for those Cosmic Legions to come out to kind of really make my decision on them. I do want to pick up at least a couple of them before I make any real decisions on it, but it looks like a great figure.
yeah, definitely. So this one, I didn't realize that this was a 2022 release. Now that like people have said it, I know I had to go back and like find out, really look it up, and it's just been kind of trickling over the last calendar year here since January. But so this one is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Alley Viper. Very well done figure. I own it. The guns are very well detailed. It comes with that shield, the fold down visor. Comes with a ton of stuff. Very cool paint on him. Overall, just a loaded figure. I think this guy deserves credit, and I didn't include him on here, but also just the Cobra infantry trooper does as well. He comes with a ton. He comes with 3 guns, which he can hold. You know, he's holding the one, has one here, one in his holster, and then of course the knife on his side there. The helmet comes off. Absolutely loaded for under $35. I think, you know, under $30 for this guy. So any of the G.I. Joe troopers so far have really won me over. They're really fun for army building, or, you know, you want to set them. I don't particularly care about G.I. Joe universes, but you can use them, you know, to go along with your Mythic Legions or your Marvel Legends display, anything like that. The other one I included on here was the Spirit Iron Knife figure. And biggest reason is the paint for me. They painted the extras on this guy. So you get the eagle that comes with him, and he's got birds or wings that can be out, or he's got the folded in wings. His knife, you can kind of see, I tried to show a picture of it, has kind of special molding to it and painting. His guns are all well done. Overall, I was blown away when I got this guy. I really liked him. So this one was more so of my preference in G.I. Joe's, what I've gotten this year. The Alley Viper or even the Bat Troopers, you could really talk me into any of them as being well done as well. That I just put the Alley Viper in just because I've seen that on a few more people's lists. So, yeah. Moving on to just who we want to cover for best overall company. I will always say NECA here. NECA, they have very good communication. They work with sellers to the best of their ability to get them out to everyone that wants one. You know, they work to try and avoid scalpers. They do really work hard. They have good level of communication. You know, with Randy monitoring their Twitter, you can get a lot of good information from there. One of the more transparent companies out there. Absolutely love NECA. I think they should. I've said this many times. I think they should win this every year, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just my opinion here. What do you guys think what's your picks for best overall company? And it doesn't have to be small related, I don't think either.
I think I'd choose between NECA and 3-0. As far as NECA goes, like this year they really got me into a lot of different lines that I typically would not even think about doing, specifically with the Universal Monsters and the TMNT Universal Monsters. I would have never have tried to get into those. I just think there's something about them that just really catches the eye. So product-wise, I haven't really had to deal with them internally, like, you know, calling them up or asking them questions where my order is or things like that. I've bought all of these at the store. I think they're really good figures for what they are, how they pose. I know some of the articulation isn't that great, but they just look really good, and they're a lot of fun. compared to something like Hasbro with Marvel Legends, where it just seems like it's over and over, and then maybe there's a shining figure there in the middle somewhere, and then it's the same stuff over and over, and then you got the Gargoyles, which is a fan favorite for a lot of people. You still got the TMNT stuff that are just they're hashing them out. They're dropping all kinds of stuff, and I think the big thing too that really kind of caught me with them is when they do their cons, most of their figures actually drop. You know what I mean? Like they had their Target, what was the Target one called? Do y'all remember the Holothon, right? They had the Holothon, and then they were there in Target maybe a week or so later, 2 weeks later. Compared to even like Hasbro, which is one of my big go-tos, you're waiting 6 months for that figure to come in. Maybe there is one drop that's like, okay, it's available now, but it's only on Pulse. So just being widely available in Targets and other retailers, I would definitely say NECA. I think 3.0 is up there too with how their Marvel, what was it? The MCU stuff is kind of coming along with their Iron Mans and stuff. I think it'll be up there as well.
Dylan, you're on mute.
You're on mute, man.
Oh, I was saying, what do you say, Brenton?
I think like Mafex 3.0. And I feel like you always have to include Hasbro no matter what, just because of all the different properties and how much they put out.
Yeah, they absolutely throw out figures. I put McFarlane toys as well on here. They were a big one that I thought, it's for the same reason. They produce an ungodly amount of figures a year, and they put them up for pre-order. They ship out within an understandable amount of time, and they're in hand, and they're typically fairly attainable. So yeah. I've said McFarlane. I love the level of communication we get from the head honcho himself. I think that matters as well. And remember, best overall company, I know a lot of people vote with the actual products. They vote by the actual products they release. I vote by how transparent, how good the company is to the customers overall. This should be renamed the John Award, right? For what he wants every company to be, to pretty much bend over for the customers. I think that's what McFarlane kind of does. I think that's what NECA kind of does. Yes, McFarlane does a lot of Batman, but hey, they sell.
That's
Obviously,
what he does.
People want them, and who knows what the licensors have told them to make as well. We don't know.
And there's not much that he hasn't put out that he says he's doing.
Right.
Yep.
He always ends up releasing it.
Exactly.
And their customer service is amazing. Like, yes. I had one incident where I bought a Batman. I think it was like an Arkham Asylum, the first one they did. And there was the foot peg was still like glued together, so I couldn't articulate his ankle. And I just emailed them, sent them a picture of it, and they sent me a brand new one. No charge or anything.
That's awesome.
That's what I was going to say, Sean. When you were saying you were having issues with NECA with your Gargoyles, you should have done the same thing with them, because they would rectify that. They say that all the time on their Twitter page about fixing those issues. I wouldn't be surprised if it entailed the same thing, just sending you a brand new figure. So
yeah, I guess for me though, it's also just like the hassle. I don't want to, with 2 kids and calling and all the other calls I have to make on the house and, just other things that are going on. That's kind of like the last thing I want to get on the phone with, because I'm tired of being on the phone. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on the phone, but yeah, I'll just email companies now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely I think these are companies that are worth it to work with. Mm-hmm. And this is one as well. 4 Horsemen. They're the closest one to NECA in my opinion, for all the same reasons. They're highly engaged with their fans, with their customers. They really embrace the customizers and the content creators who cover them. They give, like, for instance, when they released their All Stars wave, they let different content creators break the news on which, on one of the releases in the whole wave. It was just a really cool way they set it up. They've done benefits and special figures for, super fans of theirs who have passed away. They raised money for the family by creating a special figure for it. They're a class, just a classy organization overall. They're very small. They do it right. They produce a very well done product, obviously, as we kind of mentioned. So yeah, I think they're right there with, in my opinion, NECA for best overall company. If I had to pick one for this year, it would probably be Four Horsemen for what I've seen them do. And now, they're starting to break into head packs and things like that. Almost any year, I would say NECA. It's very close between the two. So now for most improved, I know you mentioned Mafex, Brenton. They are my pick for most improved, and it's not even close. I think, I've mentioned this lately in the last couple shows, and argued with Eddie about it. He ain't changing my mind. I think they are one of the most improved companies out there for the products they're releasing. Yes, they're still highly priced. Borderline, worth it or not, it depends on your own version of value. Fairly subjective, but what's not subjective is the quality that they're putting out with face portraits and head sculpts, and that was one of their biggest hindrances previously. I would have never bought a movie branded product from them that was based off, a real life movie character like that Infinity War Doctor Strange. And they have absolutely killed them. In their pictures, they look like shit. You get them in hand, and they look amazing. So they, I'm saying they're proto pictures, like for solicitation. The end product is much better, and it's definitely something that I think they needed to do, and they've done it. So they're my most improved company, I would say. Do you guys have anyone that you'd weigh in on here?
I think I just agree with you about Mafex.
Yeah.
I know you've really praised their portraits for like the last few months. You've always talked about how great they've been.
Yeah. And I don't want to, say this is, the best thing in the world. Like Eddie was starting to say, it's not, it's still 12-inch, it's a 12-inch action, or 12-inch action figure. It's not that great. And it's like, yes, but like from where they were so bad with their head sculpts, in my opinion, before, to where they are now, to where it's passable, it's believable what it is, and it's, I think, up there with the other higher end figures in that scale. That's really what you have to use for kind of a, I guess, like a scale on how good they are at it, because, if it's not out there, then if it doesn't exist, what are we doing here? But I think that, yeah, they've came such a long way there, and they've also improved their QC issues. That can't be understated. They used to have such bad QC issues. I've witnessed them, been a part of them, where it's just not even fun. And to me, there's a difference when you're buying a $30 NECA figure and having QC issues to buying almost $100 or more figure and having QC issues. Complete difference there. One will make you sick to your stomach. One will just annoy you, like in Sean's case. So, yeah. And so the next section that I wanted to cover is best non-traditional scale figure. And I think we could have included, there's a couple that I don't have pictures of that we could have included on here. And this one I put up. So this is the McFarlane the Joker Dragon figure. This is up for like figure of the year nominations, I think, like a national awards right now, actually. So that's why I included this one, and it is menacing. I've seen it in person, and it's kind of a scary looking, freaky looking figure. But oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I would also add in their motorcycle from the Batman. A lot of people have really loved them. Very fairly priced. $20. I could have got one for $9 on clearance, and I'm still kicking myself I didn't. But yeah, from that movie, The Batman, that cycle, that should be on here.
Both of
And
them.
then I think this one should as well. So there's two that I think could come from this line. But the Ceratosaurus from the Hammond collection, I think this one needs to be on there. Just overall, like super tight joints. You can get them in some really cool, believable poses. Really, overall, he stands well. Overall, just a really well done figure. My only maybe complaint is the red face compared to the rest of it, but it's still, it's fairly accurate. He has a red face in Jurassic Park 3 in that scene. But yeah, I really like this figure. What a lot of people will say is the Hammond Collection T-Rex. I won't argue that one either. I think that one needs to be on there as well. As far as awards for this year, that's was an absolute banger of a figure across the collecting community. A lot of people have that one, so I think that one needs to be on there. So yeah, and then we'll have some say or some opinions in figure of the year. I would say I've kind of mentioned it before, where it's very close for me between I would narrow it down between the Mezco Wolverine, and then I would say the Mythic Legion Sir Gerard. Those would be the main two for me. What about you guys? If you had to pick, let's just say like 2 or 3 from the list that we've covered.
I think for me it would be 3-0 Hulkbuster. I really like the Chaos Club. I think it's like a really cool take on it wasn't just their army builders, I guess, how they kind of redo them and stuff. They actually gave them like a purpose and just like rock out and stuff. I really like that. I kind of want to still pick that up. And for a third, I can be swayed with the Mafex Doctor Strange and Nemo.
Okay.
And those two are kind of like right on the verge for me. It's like, Nemo's
Sure.
cool because that the raid that's coming out, like it sucks that you have to kind of buy that separately, but still going to be an amazing addition. And then just the Doctor Strange is awesome.
Yeah. Brenton, what would you say? I know you would probably agree with the Doctor Strange thing.
You're on mute.
I wasn't the only one to do it.
Sorry, yeah. What a noob move. I'm biased, yes, toward the Doctor Strange. But I think I would also include the Hulkbuster from 3-0 and the Mezco Wolverine.
Yeah, that Hulkbuster probably should. If that wins, I won't be mad about it, that's for sure. It almost doesn't even feel fair it's on the list, but I would agree. So, okay. Very good. That was a kind of just a run through of some figures we wanted to bring to light overall. That was a lot of fun. One thing I had mentioned to you guys that I wanted to cover towards the end of our show here was just some figures you wanted to outline that you have, or just figures or something collecting related that you have gotten this calendar year. It doesn't have to be released this year, don't worry about that. Just something you have attained this year that you have really liked. List anywhere from 1 to 2 figures, whatever you want. But I just want to see what are some things that have really kind of gotten you guys going this year. So Sean, I'll have you go first.
Okay. Definitely the 3-0 Power Rangers. I'll be looking forward to picking up some more here or there, Definitely those guys. I'm actually really getting into the Mattel Pixar. So I have Squirt here. I also it also comes with Crush, but he's one of my favorite characters that I've ever enjoyed in movies in general, but also in figure form. So
Yep.
those definitely, and then I would have to say it's almost a tie for me with like the Universal Monsters and this Hot Toys Iron Man, just because the hype for me for that Iron Man has been there for so long. You know, just waiting to get it. You know, a lot of people got it in hand, and then it kind of went stale, and then they're reproduced more, and then it kind of went stale, and then I feel like I got a third or fourth wave of it. So to finally get it to kind of complete my in-game display, every shelf behind me now is full. That makes me really happy, but also those Universal Monsters, those are really cool figures to get, and for one, never really being a big NECA fan in general, and then two, never really being a Universal Monsters fan, to be able to pick these up and say like I want to complete the line is a big deal for me.
Yeah, I would say, and that's kind of going anything that pulls Sean away from his Marvel.
Exactly,
or
I'd agree
Power
with you
Rangers
for sure.
list is telling you that it's a good line to collect. So, yeah, I would.
My
agree
number
with
one
those.
is my number one that I actually bought. I think is still the Buzz. You know, just of my personal collection. I think
Do you
I think he's awesome.
that's recency bias because you just got him today?
No, I think I enjoyed the movie enough to be like, damn, I want a figure, and
Oh, okay.
I can like I want to start getting into the photos and like kind of like meshing them with different brands and stuff. So I think he can be a lot of fun just in general. You know, if you wanted to take pictures, if you wanted to do certain fight scenes and stuff, you know, using the Tamashi Nation stands with the flight stand and stuff, I think you can get some really cool stuff out of it.
Gotcha. Brenton, what are yours? And they can be statues, mind you. It's fine.
Yeah, so like everything behind me, I got this year, this calendar year. So the Sideshow Doctor Strange, Sideshow Scarlet Witch, Iron Studios Daredevil, and the XM Venom. But also like that Mafex Strange, like that thing is just so cool to mess around with. Like I've really enjoyed having that figure.
Yeah. Even though Eddie's trying to rain on your parade with it.
You're gonna summon Eddie here in a second. He's just gonna pop up on the screen.
know.
He's like, "You're wrong,"
Uh,
and then leave.
so, for me, that's really hard. I'd have to go back and look exactly what I have gotten. I really liked the. I got a Nostromo replica that I really had a lot of fun with. I'm really glad that I got the Mafex Venom and the Mafex Spider-Man comic suits. I never thought I would own those two. The Hammond Rex I played around with a lot. Like that's probably some of the most I've messed with the figure all year.
You know, if you're talking untraditional, like I really feel like that Hammond Rex is really cool. I think I have to like agree with you about your love of jaw articulation on that one. Just like the way the jaw moves up and down with the tongue and stuff. It's actually a really cool system that they got going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I would say really some of the I'm trying to think of some other things I've acquired. I haven't even taken this T60 out, but this could be up there. I really liked the Iron Man Mark V. I'm glad to have that back in the collection. The Hot Toy Iron Man Mark V. That's one of my favorite armors outside of the Mark 46. And yeah, that's all I can think of right now. I'd have to kind of look around and remember what I've gotten this calendar year. Of course, I came up with the topic, and I was at least prepared for it. But yeah, I would say that that's pretty much what mine would be, that I've had a lot of fun with. Um, so yeah, so there is our show. Let me kind of go through our Patreon only list real quick here. So we want to shout out Sean Fear, Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Cully, Ekwan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Breda, Thomas Clark, Dan Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Krett, Big Fern, King Zachary V, Caesar Marroquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick D. Gregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, The Illustrious Rainer, Elid Morgan, Tukathri Wa, Derek Biziazinski, Pablo Meza, Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Luis Breton, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you guys so much. You allow us to do this, to have fun, to put on these shows for you. If you want to become a Patreon, these are our September Patreon benefits. You get the 2,000 subscriber sticker for Collecting Weekly and the Live and Let Dice sticker. And then we want to call out our YouTube channel members: Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just 1, DK Avenger 702, MFG Rick, S Beam, Andreas IB, Daminator, Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V, Big O Fern, The OG Fan, The Pembricas, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Lemur Hernandez, Carlito, CT603, Eddie Mendez, Luke Fredericks, and Sia Dreams. Thank you guys as well so much. Now, if you want to become a Patreon, we have 3 tiers. Sweet Angel, $5 a month. This gets a sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark. Certified Crispy, you get all of those, including official certified Crispy certificate, and then assistance with figure fixes by Zach. What a Guy is $25 a month, and with that you get a What a Guy exclusive Pog Deluxe set on first pledge, doubles of all the stickers we send, and benefits of the previous tiers as well. International postage above $5 we charge a cost for the Pogs. But if you want to become a Peanut Gallery YouTube member, if you are not a Patreon, it's $2.99, and you get the loyalty badges and special emojis, and then member shoutouts. If you are a Patreon, it's only 99 cents, and you get all of those as well. So here's our network: Collecting Weekly live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Only Fools and Collecting, they will be going live next week, Thursday. We alternate Thursdays with them. And you're watching this obviously on Thursday, and then After Dark is every Wednesday, I believe at 10:30 Central. Bricks and Brews, typically the last Sunday of the month. The Ringcast, I think there is one scheduled coming up, or they are talking about it. I don't have that offhand. Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, that is every Monday. And then Collectors Club is every Friday with John and crew. And then we have Live and Let Dice, which I believe are actually going live today as we record this on, what is this, Wednesday night?
Wednesday.
Yeah. So there you have our network. If you want to support us further, grab a t-shirt over at T Republic. And yeah, there you have it. I also wanted to mention this giveaway. We were going to do this on our 75th episode. Since this is not live, I don't want to do it, and I don't want to make anyone mad. We will do it in the next show, so you guys get an extra show. But well, actually, I'll have to connect with Zach. The cutoff might have already happened, since we are at the 75th show of Small Talk. So we'll probably be putting it together, but we will be doing the drawing, I believe, next show. I'll connect with Zach on that one because I think he holds the key there, which is the main item. But yeah, I think that's all we got here. So, any last shout outs you guys want to give?
Just shout out for the Patreonies and all the other fans who watch us and let us do what we do. You know, got the awards coming up. This is just a shout out to kind of remind you guys of some of the figures that came out, and really appreciate you guys watching when y'all do.
Yes. Thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight in the chat without us live here. Sorry we weren't able to call you out, but I'm sure Toy Mafia was there. Badfish, Ducothry, you know, the regulars. Good to see you guys. Hopefully you're in there, actually. But, yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sean and Brenton, for hopping in on this last show here. This went a little longer than we wanted, but thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.